welcome to my sacred little space here at Spirits and Souls. I am so glad to have you all back. I am so glad to be back. You're probably like, Queen Mother, where the heck have you been? And I kind of explained a little bit in this brief get ready with me vlog that I did not really complete, but I want to still upload it for you guys just because I really didn't like it. But I'm still going to upload it with you because I kind of did tell you a few things in that video. I just didn't complete it, but I'm here now. So welcome back to Sacred and Souls. I am your metaphysical and spiritual teacher, Queen Mother. Hey, and your girl is back to jump back into the lessons with you all. I have missed being in front of this camera talking to whoever is watching this video at this current moment. So in today's video we are jumping into and telling the difference of what smudging is very briefly, and I'm going to show you what tools you use to smudge your home and yourself and why you should do it. In a later video I will post as a follow-up to this one is how to smudge your home and in a more sacred and quiet place, but just right now might not be the moment to do it. Okay, so getting started, if you haven't ever heard of smudging, smudging is known as for its Native American, and I feel like a lot of African traits as well, connections to it, for using smoke or natural herbs to rid the body and the environment of negative entities or energies. Okay, so most people will smudge their homes or smudge themselves to brighten, to release negative energy, to release ghosts, spirits, any psychic attacks that may be happening. Some tools to use to help that. You'll use it in sacred ceremonies as you're preparing. You'll cleanse the space and cleanse the area around you and yourself. So just look at it as giving yourself a spiritual bath, a spiritual smoke bath, right? Right. So when you smudge, you usually use one or two things. You usually use sage, which you might hear of a lot, and there are lots of versions of sage. Or you'll use, most people use like different combinations of other dried herbs to help them attract what they want to use. Now in this video we're going to go over 3 types of sages and an additional herb that I use to smudge my home when I finally need it right. So the first things you need when smudging your home or smudging yourself are your tools. You usually need some sage, and I'm going to show you mine. There's some sage here. This is already burned, but I'll show you the other one. My white sage. This is usually how it comes. It is just a dry herb sage. I think this one is white California sage. You need a conch shell or a safe device to help you hold the smoke, hold the sage. You usually hold it like this, or to wave it and to catch the droppings. Now I'm going to show you a cool trick for this part in a little bit. Most people use a feather, a very large feather. However, I don't use a feather. I use my hands, and I'm very comfortable smudging myself and my home with using the wand. So I'll wand my home, I'll wand my building, I'll wand myself. So I'm okay with using the wand. Now the goal of smudging is to use the smoke from the dried herb. The properties of that dried herb are carried within the smoke, and you use it to cover the corners of your home. Whenever you are smudging yourself, it is best to, when you go to light your sage, it is best to set positive intentions of what it is that you're looking to do with smudging. If you're smudging your home, it is best to set positive intentions with that as well. So we're going to dive into white sage, which this is my burned one. So white sage. Hey! White sage. And I'm going to go over the properties and benefits of white sage. So white sage has a very strong, very masculine vibes from this because it's very musky. It's very strong. It smokes really well. The sage usually comes wrapped. And you don't want to typically burn the entire sage. Like I said, in the follow-up video, I'm going to show you how to smudge yourself and how to smudge your home, and you can know how much to use and how to properly put it out. But as of right now, we're just going to go over the tools that you'll use and the benefits of them. So this is known as a white sage or smudge stick. You'll see many fancy ones, and I assume to hope to be carrying these as well. Smudge sticks that have different florals or wraps within them. This is known as a smudge stick. You can also take this and burn. I'll use my one that's already burned. You can also take this, and I do it a lot. I'll take this and in my incense holder, I'll burn just the leaves. I also have a surprise for you guys, and I'm going to show you how I use this in my in some upcoming products that I'm producing for you all. So you can just burn them, or you can burn them as like an incense and just kind of burn the leaves as you go. You get the best results when you use the white smudge stick. Although we do use white sage for cleansing, and I prefer to use some cleansing, it's a good herb to use to clear out dander and pollen and things like that. So if you're interested in using sage to kind of help with give positive ions to molds and things like that, sage helps when you burn it regularly. Also, I'll make sure you want to clean those areas too, but you can use sage as a way to release anxiety, to improve your moods. Some people use it to, like I said, to get rid of negativity in their lives, in their homes. I like to smudge my homes before I move in it, to kind of get rid of the old energy of the previous tenants or the people that were walking in and out of the house before I preoccupied it. So this is really good. I find also when you're stressed and you have anxiety, this helps release a hormone. I can't think of what it's called right now, but it helps calm you down. So when you release this hormone, oh my gosh, I'm blanking, but anyway, when you release this hormone, it kind of helps you calm down. So even when I have headaches and things like that, if I'm able to withstand the smoke and the smell of sage, and then I'll sage it, and I'll find instantly it's just it lets you go. Okay, so this is white sage. You use white sage, like I said, as a cleansing agent, as a purifying agent, as a mood enhancer. Always smudge yourself before you are going to going to court, new relationships, going to meet people, leaving for the day. In the beginning of the day, smudge yourself. Now, once a week, I will smudge my home completely, as well as myself, just to kind of give us a fresh new start to the work week or the week ahead. Kind of let some of that old energy go. So I'll use the smudge sage. Now we have another sage, which is blue sage. Now blue sage is a very fine. I'm going to show you guys this. It's going to be part of the sage because my blue sage, excuse me, burned, because of course I burned it, but this is burned. I don't have a stick that was not used, but my rope burned, the little string around it burned. So this one is very loose, whereas the white sage, it doesn't always fall apart as quickly because they're in bundles. But if you can see this, it's very thin, and it gives off a sweeter scent than the white sage. So blue sage, you can use it to cleanse your home as well, but blue sage, y'all, is that money sage. When you're trying to manifest some money into your life, when you're trying to bring in new financial opportunities, you need to cleanse your wallet, you need to cleanse your money, you burn blue sage. Now blue sage, compared to white sage, blue sage has a higher smoke than the white sage. Excuse me. With blue sage, with white sage, you kind of have to keep the I find I have to keep going back to I have to keep relighting it to keep it going. But with blue sage, you light it once and it smokes like this. And if I'm not mindful with it, which is the last time I smoked, I only use this for 2 or 3 minutes because it burns quickly. I usually have to hurry and press it out, so that way I can completely just still use the sage without it smoking up my entire house. One time I left it smoking and I came back and I didn't realize that I had my fan on and it picked up some smoke like that, and my whole house was covered. I didn't have to smudge for 2 weeks because my house was cleansed, the building I was in was cleansed. You could smell it in the upstairs neighbor's house, you could smell it down the street. Like, it was strong. It was so strong. So I am a little bit more cautious when it comes to blue sage, but I do use blue sage when I am doing money rituals, when I am getting ready to invite money into my life. I'm getting ready to play or go to a job interview. I'll do blue sage. I want to call it blue money sage, right? I've learned the blue sage. It's such a sweeter scent to it. I actually love it, but I can't tolerate it as long as I can with the white sage. So another thing that we use when we use smudging is Palo Santo. So Palo Santo comes as this little wood, just like a piece of stick, little wood. I love Palo Santo the most. I think I burn it the most. It is a little harder to keep lit, but they last a long time. Palo Santo is a very earthy, it's sweet, it's earthy, it's a treat. It is literally a treat. It's sweet, but it's earthy, and it burns beautifully. I love the way it burns. Palo Santo is also a cleansing agent, but I like to use white sage to do a deep cleanse and Palo Santo to do a daily cleanse. So if I am trying to just keep up positive vibrations, I'm feeling good, I want to keep that and keep attracting that warm, loving, happy vibration into my home, I'm going to use Palo Santo. If I'm using, say I just need to cleanse my tarot deck or my stones and no one has touched them, then I will use my Palo Santo. Just a quick way to smudge my items. I smudge myself, I smudge my children, I smudge my bed. I love the scent of Palo Santo in its natural form. I don't really care for it in the scent, but I love it just like this. It smells so good, y'all. So good. So Palo Santo is a stick, and I use like white sage as a deep cleanse. So like, say if I do a tarot reading and I really didn't want them to touch my deck and they did touch my deck, then I'll smudge my whole entire deck. I smudge my new stones, new items that come in, I'll smudge those. I smudge my home. Anything like I'm coming into bringing my energy in for the first time, I need to remove someone's energy, I'll use my white sage. Just to keep in balance and maintain, I'll use my Palo Santo. So if you find yourself like to get, like I said, deep cleansing, daily cleansing. So spring cleaning, regular cleaning your home. You know, I hope that helped with the difference between the two. So when you buy your Palo Santo and your sages, I find that I like to, me personally, I like a good smoke. Sometimes your sage can be wound too tightly and sometimes you may need to loosen it, but I'll just take a little light pin or a knife and lightly wiggle my way into it. If you find that you're lighting it and it's not staying lit or no smoke is coming from it, just kind of loosen up the strings, and once it's a little loose you can just let it smoke. I usually like to take my shell and line it with aluminum foil, and I haven't been doing it lately because I keep putting my incense in here. So I'll line it with my aluminum foil, because when you're walking around the home, this shell can sometimes get hot. Like when I have to use my blue sage, like it says, blue sage burns really quickly, so I can't always hold the shell because the blue sage is going to burn my hand. So to prevent myself from burning myself, line your shell with some aluminum foil, and it makes for an easy cleanup too. I get messy with mine. I don't mind the mess. I'll clean it up afterwards, but you'll just go ahead and line this. So when you're doing your scent, I like to use a plain white candle. I'll get a plain votive candle and I'll light it, because this way I can maintain the smoke over the candle. And without me having to use a lighter or a match. And sometimes it takes a little time for it to catch flame. A couple of pieces may catch, but you may need like a little bit more smoke. So you just kind of hold it and let it go. Let it, you know, over the candle flame until you get enough heat. Don't do it too long, because if you do it, these are like wildfires. You don't want to burn the entire stick. One stick, depending on how often you smudge your home or yourself, can last you a long time. I think I just fairly opened this one about a month ago. I haven't been smudging a lot, so about a month or so ago. So usually what I do to put them out is I just take the stick into my shell and I just kind of like do this. If I have aluminum foil, I'll wrap the foil around it so that way it can put out the fire. Remember when you're smudging to use fire safety precautions, so make sure you smudge it out. If you are new to smudging, make sure you open your windows and your doors. Whenever you smudge, open your windows and your doors because you're cleaning. You wouldn't mind picking up the trash off your floor and leaving your trash in your trash can for days on end. You need to get that energy that you're trying to cleanse out of your house, out of your life, and away from you. So open as many doors and windows as you can, and you always start from the back of your home and make your way to the front of the home. You open up all the cabinet doors, you open up the closets, you smudge everything when you're smudging your home. When I'm smudging myself, I like to start from my head and I work my way from my back all the way down to the tippy little toes of my feet, and I say a prayer. I'm releasing a simple prayer, or I may say Thanksgiving. I may say a prayer of just release whatever I want. I may have an affirmation that I may repeat. It depends on the mood for which I'm smudging for is what I'll do. I'll smudge that. Now, how to read your smoke. There's many different ways you can read your smoke. I like to tell people, when you get your stick and it's barely lighting and you've made sure you have enough room inside and it's not smoking, it's going to smoke a little bit and it goes out like this, there's not a lot of negative energy to cleanse around you. But if you turn around and you use, and your thing is like a flame and it's just going everywhere, there may be a lot of residual and negative energy or current negative energy that you may need to get out of your home and away from you. I smudge everything. I smudge my car, I smudge my house, I smudge my kids, I smudge my dogs, I smudge the door, the front door, the mail that comes in my house. Like, if it's not to be excessive, but if it's in my home and this is my sacred space, I'm going to cleanse it of all of this negative energy. So sometimes, some days, depending on what's going on, there can be a lot of smoke and I'm like, okay, yeah, we got to get this negative energy up out of here. Sometimes it's barely any and I have to keep going back into relighting because I personally want to make sure that I get all the areas of my home or myself. Sometimes I just do a quick one over and I put it out. But usually you can tell from this. I'll do a separate video on like the smokes, color, and how long it smokes for, so that way you can kind of determine what it means. I just wanted to share that cool tip. So if you are new to smudging, I want you to comment down below what you think about smudging and if you are going to try it. If you are not new to smudging, tell me some of the affirmations that you use down below. I would love to hear what you usually use your smudging tips for, what you usually smudge, or is it beneficial to your life? That's all for today. I am so glad I got to come back and just share this quick little video with you guys. I was trying to do this before. This was the video I tried to do at my altar and my camera broke. So I don't know if I should record at my altar yet. That might be a good thing. We'll figure that one out because the next video I'm going to show you how to set up an altar, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that post bell notification so you can stay up to date when your girl posts her videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all. I'm just so excited to be back. I know it may not be a big deal, but a lot of work goes into making and creating YouTube videos, and it feels hella good to be back, to get back into the flow of creating my videos. So I'm so excited to be back. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming to my sacred place. With love and light, you have a beautiful day. And very quickly, I'm going to link down below some links for you. So if you want to purchase some sage on your own, I'm going to link them down below so you can find them on Amazon. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Are you all caught up? If not, check out some of these videos. I'm sure they'll help you along your spiritual journey. With love and light.